Hey everyone, welcome to This Is Corner once again. Today we're looking at the Athena starter deck to have an idea of what you're gonna get in your starter deck and how to play it out. This is just a quick video, so there's not much details until we build a deck and be able to play it. So starting off, Athena Stormkal is another starter deck available for Soul Masters TCG. They told me, and we have been knowing about the game, that it is a more control style, mid-place type of deck because it does not have all the benefits of being full aggro from the get-go, like a Keshi deck, which is really strong with haste and things like that on the get-go, but it does have some big swinging attacks and big surprise that it does. So let's start looking at the deck quickly, and we'll look at some of the key cards in this deck. So once you open your deck, you would notice that it has the same options as all the start decks. So it has your pamphlet with all the information of a quick start guide and your stickers. Then you will notice, just like I did with the previous video, a sleeve deck, which has your cards at the Defiant Red, which is your commander, which would be Athena Stormkal. Then we'll have our reserve deck, which is only 5, but for organized play, we'll be raising that to 8. We have our resources, since Athena has 6, just like before, so it's just the same, but this one goes up, and there are focuses. They're not great just compared to the Wolven Clan, or Keshi in this case. And finally, we do have our main deck. So what we say with Athena is that she has a main keyword that she's gonna try to use and be able to push forward through, and that keyword is facing. We can see some of the cards that she has that they do include the keyword facing. And what facing is in general terms is that when you attack with a unit, you may pay 1 energy, and then you can switch that card with a unit or core that you have in your energy field. So just looking for the cores, give me just a moment for that. And you can trade them. And what's gonna happen is that you're gonna pay the difference for those type of cards. So let's say I attack with my face knight, I pay 1 for facing, I'm gonna switch my facing knight for a fighter golem, and what's gonna happen is this fighter golem is gonna be attacking just like the face knight, but the face knight will technically replace the attacking golem and be a normal energy that we have right here. After we do this exchange, we have to see the cost of the cards. So we have a face knight with 4, and we have a fighter golem card for 3. So that means that I don't have to pay more for that card, but I do get a refund of 1 energy for this combat, and still have my attacking golem with its facing now activated. So that means it gains +1 damage and all the normal traditional combat things that's gonna happen. Now, if we do it the other way around, in which we will take this low cost card, which is a 3 cost, and change it for a higher cost, which is 4, we do have to pay the difference from the 3 and the 4. So that means now we're gonna pay 1 extra energy to be able to pay for the difference from the 3 to the 4, and this from the fighter golem core to our face knight, and it will get all the benefits of facing and things like that, and be able to deal the damage. This is one of the key mechanics of how the deck will work, and that's why Athena has a lot of cards that will protect your units and also allow you to deal a little bit more damage. Cards such as Athena's Blessing, which is a fun little card, which has Hex. This card will stay on the battlefield, and you can use it during combat to boost your damage, or you can use it as a defensive option to lower the damage you're gonna take by sacrificing it, and then preventing 2 damage, or giving it 2 armor, or giving more damage. So it's one of those cards that you want to play in an early game, so that way you have a little bit more damage boost, you have a little bit more of the damage prevention, and it's a general all-around great card. Now for the main boss, or the main card that we'll see in our starter deck, will be none other than Captain Stain. Captain Stain is an epic card, so you have 2 copies of the card, and when it attacks, it allows you to do Master Facer. That allows you to pay 1 energy, and you can switch up to a total cost of 6 to the total cost of 6 costs in units to put on the field. So that means that you're gonna attack with your Captain Stain, you're gonna pay 1, and now you're gonna switch up to a total cost of 6. So I do have a Sabrina here, so that'll be 2, 3, 4, and since I do not have another 1 cost unit, I will just put this one here, and they go there. So this is a total of 5 in cost. They're all entering tapped and attacking. Captain Stain will enter into the back row just like that as an energy, and now I have more options to play more cards to extend my energy field once again and be able to play more cards. So this is one of those really tricky cards, because now I do have 3 combat steps in a way, because we're doing it all at the same time, but you must choose one of them to be your main attack. So let's say Captain Stain was fully replaced by Sabrina. So Sabrina is our original attacker, and after we resolve this attack, now we'll go to another attack here, and then to the other one here, and then we'll solve this whole combat completely, and then we'll proceed to the normal turn. So now I can play more cards as energy and things like that. So it's just a really complicated card, but it does so much damage, and it can be a game changer when it's properly played. But do not forget, the thing that only happens when Captain Stain goes from your unit field into your energy. If we do it the other way around, let's say I attack with my Golem Core. No, let's say we attack with my Face Knight. I pay 1 and I bring it back to replace my Captain Stain. That does not activate Master Phaser, and I do have to pay the rest of the energy to be able to have Captain Stain. Do that facing with Captain Stain. So make sure that you do it properly and be able to pull it forward. Another fun fact is that Athena is the only card that has the counter spell. So one of the cards that we hated in other card games, it's here with Athena. It's exclusive for her because it's an ability, but it does not affect cards in your reserve deck. So that means any card with the red symbol, counterspell cannot hit it, but counterspell can hit anything else that's in your deck. To make sure, counterspell only targets spells or abilities from casting cost 2 or less, and you may pay focus to be able to add more damage into that to upgrade the card cost. So if you consume 1 focus during its casting, it can be 4 or less. If you consume 2, it will be 5 or less. If you consume 3, it's 6 or less. So it's one of those cards that is really dependent on your playstyle, on your playgroup, and it can be a deal breaker for some, and it can be something that's not really that great depending on the style. So all around, this is what the Athena deck is trying to do and trying to show off from the starter deck. If you have the deck and you want me to see it and see a little bit more detail with it, feel free to let me know and I'll review it, I'll try to build it and be able to see how it plays out and push forward and explain a little bit more of the concept. All around, that's the general idea of the deck per se for Athena. But let's not forget that she also has a lot of fun interactions in her ability. She does have Prodigy. Prodigy say that you can discard a focus, and if you use a card as an energy shield, you may draw 1 card. Fun fact, this also applies to cards that have 0 cost. So in this case, you are really needing that extra card to get that, that big play, and you need to card draw. You can discard a Thundershock for 0. You may pay 1 focus, and you will draw a card for Prodigy, because her card says you use the card as shielding, but doesn't mean it has to have shielding. So that's really fun to play with her, and it allows you to pretty much remove that dead card that you have in hand and be able to push forward with the game. So that's all for now. See you next time with more tips and tricks of Soul Masters TCG.